Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to the big reveal of my 2022 NFL Draft Big Board 3.0. This is after the Combine, and this is my big reveal. So like I said earlier, there's going to be 5 versions of my big board. This is 3.0. Version 4.0 will come out right around April 1st. Right around April Fool's Day, and then my final version, my 5.0 big board, which will be an expanded top 75, will come out days before the actual NFL draft in late April. But guys, my big board was at 32 players. It's expanded to 50 players with the NFL Combine. I've got their trend, where they were compared to the last time. I've got NFL comparisons, and I've got a new category called concerns. Let's actually zoom this in a little bit, shall we? That might be that's a little bit too much. Do you have like 250? All right, I guess we can't do that. But ladies and gentlemen, Nakobe Dean is still my number 1 overall player. You know, people talk about he's a smaller guy. I really don't care. I really do not care. Nakobe Dean is a guaranteed multi-time All-Pro in the making. Guaranteed. One of the safest players in the class. When I saw him at Georgia, I immediately knew he's been my number 1 player now for 2 straight big boards. He's probably going to stay there. And then George Karlaftis is my number 2 overall player. People were down on him. He ran a slow 40. We knew he wasn't the fastest guy. You got the speed as the main concern. I don't care. This is a freak from Greece. When they talk about Giannis from Greece. This is another dude from Greece. He is a physical specimen who will move offensive linemen. George Karlaftis, huge pressures king in the NFL. He is so powerful. He's just going to be able to move people right off their spot. The Joey Bosa comp, he's just a bigger guy than Bosa, so I don't know if I really love that comp right now. I have moved Ike Mekwonu to my number 3 overall player from NC State, up 6 spots. A lot of people moving this kid up. Huge. He is massive. The one thing that separates him and Evan Neal, he just seems like a brick wall. He just seems a little bit bigger, a little bit of a higher ceiling. You could see him making the Hall of Fame as a pure left tackle. He is massive. And my only concern would be maybe he's too big. He's got stocky feet. That'd be really it with those big guys. He is huge. Garrett Wilson, moved him up 3 spots. Unbelievable performance at the Combine. Ran a 4.37, 4.38, something like that. Looked so smooth in the gauntlet drill. You know, this guy is just a guaranteed superstar at the next level. I don't know what else to say. It's a lock at this point. Excuse me. I've got him NFL comp to Calvin Ridley, but I actually think he's a little bit more aggressive than Calvin Ridley, at least when it comes to absorbing contact, being able to take hits. And obviously he doesn't bet on games. I'm just kidding, but the only concern would be his height. He did measure at 5'11.6. When you really round that up, it's 6 foot out. People were talking about, he's 5'11. He's really 6 foot. I have no concerns with Garrett Wilson. He's a guaranteed superstar. He's by far my wide receiver 1. He's been my wide receiver 1 since I started doing the big boards. Number 5, it's Kyle Hamilton. People are concerned about his speed. I don't care. I still love Kyle Hamilton. He's down 2 spots just because I had to move Mekwonu up and Garrett Wilson up. He's not down because, he only ran a 4.59, or that was like his unofficial time. I don't know what his real time was, but his NFL comp is Justin Simmons. I love that comp. So Kyle Hamilton, still just a surefire beast. And then the speed concern, whatever. I mean, he ran a slower 40. I don't really care. And then also, you would say with Kyle Hamilton, maybe an injury concern. He was injured his junior year with Notre Dame. Number 6, it's going to be Evan Neal. Really not much to talk about with him. Really no big concerns with Evan Neal. He's going to be a solid left tackle in the NFL, in contention to be the number 1 overall pick by the Jaguars. You have him compared to Trent Williams. Then we do have Ahmad Gardner. He's been my CB1, this entire time. Ever since I started doing this process, he stays there at number 7. He's down 2 spots just because these guys moved up. Carson Strong. Love Carson Strong. I've talked about him multiple times. He was throwing bombs at the Combine, and the only real issue with him would be his athleticism. He is a pure pocket passer, although I think he can develop a little bit more in terms of running. It's not like he's this huge guy that can't move at all. He can move a little bit, so Carson Strong, still my QB1. I've got him comped to Josh Allen, and then the athleticism concern is there. By the way, when this says comp, that's just Ahmad Gardner not facing the best competition, so that would be the concern at Cincinnati playing in the American Conference. He hasn't faced, these great receivers from the SEC or Big Ten or something like that. So that's what comp means, or that's what it stands for. Aiden Hutchinson, number 9. He's a stud. He's moved down 1 just because other guys moved up. Have him compared to Max Crosby. He is going to be a pressures machine at the next level, and I've got no real concerns with Aiden Hutchinson. Kayvon Thibodeau, he is the same. He's just too much of a physical freak to move down. Too much of a physical freak. Drake London, my number 2 receiver. Same as he was, ranked 11th. Compared him to Michael Thomas, you could also go with Mike Evans. He did not participate at the Combine. I don't really care. As long as he doesn't have that injury concern, we know he was out those last 6 or 7 games at USC. I think he just shut it down, though, because USC was out of it. He was on pace, I believe, to set some crazy records at USC. Drake London was, like receptions. He was averaging like 11 receptions per game until he got injured. He's a stud. If you're looking for a bigger receiver, he's the number 1 receiver for bigger receivers. Obviously, Garrett Wilson, number 1 receiver overall. Matt Corral coming in at number 12. Have him compared to Matt Stafford. Really like Matt Corral in terms of his potential, his NFL arm, really strong. Love Matt Corral. He is up 1 spot. We've got Tyler Linderbaugh. We all know the story with him. He's a star, but it's just how high do you want to put a true center? He is a true center. I expect him to be at the very least a multi-time Pro Bowler. Travis Frederick. The only concern is he's just a center. How high are you going to draft a center? Number 14, it is David Bell. I'm perfectly fine with David Bell in his 40 time. It was slow, whatever. I knew it would be slow. This is a guy that's quick, not fast. A lot of receivers are like that now in the NFL. It's all about creating separation. It's not so much about straight line speed. Trust me, I love straight line speed, but Bell is someone I've had a crush on for a while. He's ranked 14th. He's up 1 spot. I don't really care. The concern would be the speed. Doesn't bother me. I think he's 6'2". I'm not sure what he measured at the Combine, but David Bell is an absolute beast, and I love the Cooper Kupp comparison. Next, we have Derek Stingley Jr., very tough guy to rank, coming in at number 15. He is down 3 spots. The injury concerns are still there. The one thing when I'm talking about Derek Stingley Jr., the one thing I always say, he had one of the craziest true freshman seasons I have ever seen a cornerback have. When you're a cornerback and you're going from high school to college, it's a major jump. And basically all the top guys, even the 5-star guys, need a year to bulk up and be ready to contend with those top receivers. Stingley was so dominant his true freshman year. It is one of the rarest things, and then got injured the next 2 years. LSU was out of it. You guys know how the current culture is in college football. It's not good. If you're not, if you're a top pick and your team's out of it, you're really not going to play. That's kind of what happened with Stingley. He does have the injury concern, but he's just a guy that's so tough to rank due to the injuries, but also due to that amazing true freshman season. One of my top guys from the Combine, Chris Olave. He looked so smooth. He had that unofficial time of 4.62 that everyone was raving about, and then it got replaced. It was really a 4.39, but still really fast. I thought Chris Olave would have been like a 4.48 guy or 4.5 flat guy, so running that fast is very impressive. He's so smooth. He looked so great, and he is up 4 spots. He solidified. To me, he is just such a smooth overall player. I actually think his game is similar to Antonio Brown's. Brown was definitely more physical and definitely had a bigger build, but if Olave can put on more mass, I could see him have just that smoothness overall, that ability. Very similar game to Antonio Brown. Next, we have David Ajabu coming in at number 17. He is up 1 spot. He is a guy that actually lit up the Combine. A lot of people loved what they saw from him. I like what I see from him. I have him as my number 17 overall player. He's kind of a speed pass rusher, a guy that could get 10 to 12 sacks per year, and a true first round lock at this point. Malik Willis, number 18. He was the best quarterback at the Combine. He is up 1 spot. My only concern with him would be the accuracy. We saw some games with Liberty. He wasn't the most accurate guy, but he throws a really good deep ball, and this is the type of quarterback where I could see him being the first quarterback off the board. I could see him being a top 10 pick, a team trading up for him, a team like the Commanders. Denver obviously doesn't need a quarterback at number 9. You could see a team like the Commanders moving up to get Malik Willis, or even another team. I know the Steelers have been thought to be a very good fit for Malik Willis. Number 19, it's going to be Devin Lloyd. He's down 3 spots. He did run an unimpressive 40 time. I was very surprised he ran a 4.7 40. If you were to ask me what I thought he would have run before the Combine, I would probably say 4.55. So the 4.7 is tough, but he's still a really good player. I'm not going to overreact to 140 time. It's not the end of the world. He's still a top 20 player in my mind. The first new guy to this list, it's going to be Devante Wyatt, who is a defensive tackle from Georgia. Love this dude. I don't know why it took me this long to add him. He is my number 20 overall player now. Ran a 4.78 at the combine. Also has the motor, the ability to play for a full game and really not get tired. That's one of the big problems with Jordan Davis, and we'll get to him in a second. But yeah, Wyatt, I just think is better. He's a little bit smaller than Jordan Davis, I believe, at 6'3". Yeah, he is 6'3". That's why I have size as a concern, kind of similar to Sheldon Rankins. But I love Devante Wyatt. He's one of my top guys. He's my top defensive tackle right now on the board. Those Georgia guys just completely lit up the combine. Coming in at number 21, it's Brian Asamoah. I believe he ran a 4.56 at the combine. I thought there was a small chance based on how everyone was running, he would be like a 4.48 guy. Still, 4.56 for a linebacker is plenty good enough. Got him compared to a modern day, JOK, that modern day linebacker type who's a rangy guy that can also cover a tight end. Physical. This size would be the only concern with him. I love him. I've loved him for a while. He will stay in my top 32 no matter what, pretty much. Number 22, Trey McBride. Loved what I saw with him from the combine. He's up 5 spots, clearly entrenched. He's a first-round talent. I don't know if he's going to be a first-round pick, but this is a guy that does everything well when it comes to the tight end, when it comes to being the number 1 tight end. The only concern would be, does he have that modern-day quickness? Does he have that modern-day elusiveness to get open? He seems a little bit stiff when he runs routes. That's the only concern I would have with Trey McBride, but he is a tank. He's got really good hands. Go watch his gauntlet drill. He looks so comfortable compared to many of these other tight ends. I will also say, quick shout out to Isaiah Likely, the tight end from Coastal Carolina. He looked really good as well. But Trey McBride, he is my number 1 tight end by far. Number 23, it's a new guy to the board. It's going to be George Pickens, who is a physical specimen. He's 6'3". He ran a 4.40. Have him comped right now to DK Metcalf. He was out basically the entire year at Georgia with an injury. That's why he's not getting as much hype as he normally would. If he played for Georgia and put up like even just 800 or 900 yards, this guy would be a top 15 pick guaranteed, getting comped routinely to DK Metcalf. But because of the health concern, he's kind of a mid-second round value right now. I think he's going to continue to move up the boards. Travis Jones is another new guy to my list from UConn. He's a massive defensive tackle. I've liked Travis Jones for a while. He looked really good coming off the combine. Really quick explosiveness for Travis Jones. Not great competition playing at UConn, but I love Travis Jones. I've loved him for a while. He's up to number 24. Jaquan Brisker is my number 25 player, the safety from Penn State. A lot of people are going to move this guy down because he didn't run the 40, or he did run the 40, but he got injured. There's injury concerns. I understand that, but I think this could be a great day 2 value if he moves down the board due to some injury concerns. As long as there's nothing too substantial there, he'll be able to heal. He'll be fine. I would say great day 2 value for Brisker. Love my Malcolm Jenkins NFL comparison. Really physical safety, and ran a fine 40 for being someone that was injured too. Number 26, it's Daxton Hill, kind of a hybrid corner slash safety. Maybe when it comes to the NFL, maybe a Tyrann Mathieu type positional value there. The only concern with him is physicality. He's very slim. He needs to bulk up a little bit. But Daxton Hill, this is a former 5-star, went to Michigan, played well. I believe he's coming out as a junior. I don't think he stayed for a senior year. So yeah, Daxton Hill, my number 26 overall player now. Number 27, it's going to be Bailey Zappy. I've been very high on Bailey Zappy, ever since this process started. That is not the right shade of red. Let me change that there to that. To bring it down. He's only down 5 spots. I do have him compared to Justin Herbert. And competition is his main concern because he's from Western Kentucky. Everyone thinks this is just another one of those Western Kentucky quarterbacks. Did you guys see him throwing the ball? He throws an unbelievable deep ball. Great pocket awareness. Athletic enough. Bailey Zappy is a great day 2 or day 3 value. Right now, I know in mocks he's going like he's going round 4, round 5. When it comes to the actual draft, these people trade up for quarterbacks all the time. He'll be going round 2 or round 3, guaranteed. Next, we have Penning, the offensive tackle from Northern Iowa, he's not new to the list anymore. I believe this is messed up because last time I had him ranked like maybe 29th, so he is 28th. This is a big, raw tackle from Northern Iowa. Competition not great, but he is massive. I think he's 6'6 or 6'7, 315. He's huge. The Cincinnati Bengals could be a very good fit for him. We do have Jordan Davis coming in at number 29 overall. The talk of the combine. You know, running a 4.8 that big, it's crazy. But again, it doesn't answer the main question I have about Jordan Davis. And many people saying at Georgia, Jordan Davis has a major motor problem where he gets tired after 2 or 3 plays. That doesn't answer my question. It was great. I got him at number 29 now. He's a disruptor. He definitely had a great year at Georgia. But still, there's major questions about him getting tired after a few plays. Coming in at number 30, this is going to surprise some people. It's Wooland, the cornerback from the University of Texas, San Antonio. The reason I moved him up to number 30 overall, I've never seen anything like it. This guy is 6'4", and he ran, the unofficial 40 time was a 4.34, and then the official 40 time was actually faster. He ran a 4.26, I think. At 6'4", he's a cornerback. That is crazy. It is crazy. This athlete, he will be at worst selected round 2. Worst. He's too good of an athlete. They will coach him up. The only thing I would say, he's raw and he really doesn't have the overall stats, but what he did at the combine is crazy. This is a freak. People love freaks. That is a freak, and he will go very high in drafts. 31, it's going to be Alec Pierce. Higher than a lot of people have him. I understand that. Got him comped to Chris Godwin. He ran a great 40 time, 4.4 flat or 4.41 for a guy that's 6'3 and has some real bulk to him. Alec Pierce, he's really good hands, really consistent at Cincinnati. I love Alec Pierce. Number 32, it's going to be Trent McDuffie. I have moved him over Kyler Gordon. The only issue with him, or one of the only issues, is the height. He's only 5'11", so for people ranking him inside their top 10, it's very tough for me to rank someone that is on the shorter side, that short, like 5'11", for a cornerback. I know people are going to say, what about Garrett Wilson? Garrett Wilson is really 6 foot, and Garrett Wilson is a unique case where that kid's just a superstar. Trent McDuffie, didn't hear a lot of him at Washington, and the height, it is a major concern. Number 33, it's going to be NPF. The offensive tackle from Ohio State, he is down 12 spots. I think I was just over-aggressive with his ranking. Didn't have an unbelievable combine. Nothing terrible, but nothing overly impressive. He's a guy I still like. Good value for late in the second round, start of the third round, if you can get him there. Really good value. He's got a chance to be a great offensive tackle. He's a former 5-star. He's got the talent. He's got the length. Maybe he needs to bulk up even a little bit more, because I know he came to Ohio State. He had a massive weight problem where he was too light, and it took him 2 years just to become a viable starter at Ohio State. Sam Howell is number 34. He did not participate at the combine, so tough to really get much of a read on him. He was my number 1 overall quarterback coming into this year. Unfortunately, there's a lot of inconsistency. I think he might have the best arm talent of any quarterback in this draft. Very similar kind of to Baker Mayfield. It's the inconsistency. I forgot to put the concern for him, but my main concern with Sam Howell, completely inconsistent. He'll make some crazy good throws, and then some throws that'll just make you scratch your head. So he is number 34. Number 35, Kenny Pickett. He had the major, concern with his hand size. His hands are just historically small. They would be smaller than any current starting quarterback. That's a major issue. And I've never been high on Kenny Pickett. I've got him compared to Alex Smith. I think that's a great NFL comp for Kenny Pickett. He's number 35. Kyler Gordon, number 36. He was a guy that many people thought was going to light up the combine, and that's why I had him in my first round, or, to my top 32. He's down 8 spots. Didn't do as well, didn't measure as well as I thought he was going to do at the combine. That's why I've moved the other Washington cornerback, McDuffie, ahead of him. So he is down a little bit, but he still is a really good athlete. Cameron Thomas, number 37. I love Cameron Thomas. I think he's going to be a really good pass rusher in the NFL. I do have him compared to Solomon Thomas, who was a real bust at the number 2 overall pick. That's actually his brother. Guys, I'm kidding. It's not his brother, but he's down some. I like Cameron Thomas a lot. You're seeing Cameron Thomas fall to round 3 on some of these mock drafts. It's great value at that point. Christian Harris, number 38. What a 40 time. I thought this dude was a lot slower. He ran like a 4.48 40, or might have been even faster than that. The linebacker from Alabama, maybe a little bit undersized, but Christian Harris, he's solidly inside my top 50 after that 40 time. He was a guy that was getting like top 10 hype before the season started. So Christian Harris coming at number 38. Number 39, it's going to be Logan Hall, the defensive tackle from Houston. I really do like Logan Hall. I think he's a great day 2 value pick for a team. I love this overall draft. I just think there's so many talented guys. Logan Hall at number 39, similar to Travis Jones a little bit, kind of from a smaller school, not many people know about him. And then Myjai Sanders, this was a guy that was getting mocked in a lot of first rounds, kind of mid-season. He's fallen off a little bit, but I love me some Myjai Sanders. I think he's going to be a pressures machine. He is from Cincinnati. Also from Cincinnati, I'm sure many people know Desmond Ritter. My NFL count for Desmond Ritter right now is Carson Wentz, excuse me. I was going to say like Carson Strong. Carson Wentz is my NFL comp for him. You know, Desmond Ritter's a leader. He did very well at the Combine. People talking about him at the Senior Bowl. He's a really good leader. That's what a lot of people are talking about. Braxton Jones, the offensive tackle from Southern Utah. I'm sorry, guys. I have to go to the bathroom really bad. All right, sorry about that. We are on to Braxton Jones, kind of my project guy that a lot of people have going right now in round 5 or round 6. He's got unbelievable measurables. He is a project, like I said, from Southern Utah. I love that color. That's a nice color there. But yeah, I love Braxton Jones. You know, he's a guy that's going to be a value day 3 type pick. Cam Taylor-Britt is another one. I love Cam Taylor-Britt. If there's one word that I would use to describe Cam Taylor-Britt, dog. This dude is a dog. He's a player. I'm telling you, he had a great combine. He had a great workout. Cam Taylor-Britt, he's my number 43 player right now. I think he sneaks into, round 2 after that combine he had. Jahan Dotson is my number 44 overall player. I have never been that high on Jahan Dotson, and I would really love, to listen to what Penn State fans have to say about Jahan Dotson, because I just think, I've always thought that KJ Hamler is better than Jahan Dotson, but I believe Dotson put up better stats. So maybe Dotson is better, maybe I'm underrating him. The main concern with him is not just his height, but his overall size. He needs to bulk up, similar to Chris Olave. He's 5'10", but he's also very wiry. He needs to put on some mass, some lean mass. He's number 44. My only running back on this board, it's not Kenneth Walker, although Kenneth Walker had a very impressive combine, and a lot of people have him as their clear number 1 running back after that great 40 time. My number 1 running back, the only running back on this board, it's going to be Breece Hall from Iowa State. I love Breece Hall. This is a guy that surprisingly ran like a 4.48 40, if I remember that correctly. Something like that. Breece Hall, my top running back. This is a player. I saw him at the Combine. He's a player. Iowa State, maybe a little chubby big boy, but he can still run really fast. Love Breece Hall. He is a true RB1. And Kenneth Walker is right there. Kenneth Walker could very easily be above him. He'd be like my number 52 or 53 overall player. And then Jeremy Ruckert is my number 46 overall player. Underrated tight end from Ohio State. Ohio State really underutilizes the tight end position. This is a former 5-star recruit out of high school, Jeremy Ruckert. He's got the build. He's going to be a great pass-catching tight end. He'll probably go end of round 2, maybe start around 3. 47 is Andrew Booth. Decent cornerback. Just thought I'd throw him on there. Number 48 is a really interesting player. Channing Tyndall. Very interesting name. Very interesting lengthy linebacker. He reminds me kind of Harold Landry. If he puts on weight, he reminds me of Harold Landry. Right now, he's a lot more thinner, but he is a guy that could either rush the passer, play outside linebacker. Really interesting athlete. I've got him at number 48. We've got right at number 49, the slot quarterback. I still like him. I thought I'd throw him on there, give him a little shout out. And then you hate to see it with Wan'Dale Robinson. I just kept him on there this one last time. I'm going to have to knock him down even more, move down 17 spots, but Wan'Dale is actually 5'8". Is he 5'11"? Is he maybe 6 foot? Is he 5'10"? Kentucky actually lied about his height, and the Combine measured him at 5'8". So you hate to see something like that happen. I would maybe even put Kelvin Austin ahead of one. Well, maybe not. Wan'Dale is still a really good playmaker. It's just so unfortunate that he came in and measured at 5'8". It's very tough to use players like that. For reference, Tyreek Hill, one of the shortest guys, he's 5'10". So it's tough. I don't know if Wan'Dale might be 5'8 3/4. Maybe he's closer to 5'9". I'd have to look that up. But those are my current top 50 overall players. Really love this list. My next update will be right around the beginning of April. It'll be my 4.0 update, but right now my top 50 overall players. A lot of new guys added to the list, as you can see. A lot of guys getting knocked down. There's some guys that got knocked off. But yeah, that's going to do it for this update video, guys. Make sure you are following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.